I'm Bertrand, I'm the CEO of Flowbird, and I'm very, very delighted to be here at Intertraffic. We have been absent for 4 years now, so it's a really, really big pleasure to meet with our clients, with our partners again in person. And here at Intertraffic, you see you have a lot of people on the booth, and actually we have 2 booths now at Intertraffic, one with a traditional offering and one which is fully digital, which is showing that now Flowbird is a global company providing to our cities, our clients, the whole range of services to manage the curb, to manage parking, and to manage mobility on their territory. We have a lot of innovation here on display in the show. So we have innovations in the way of paying for parking with a new lot of new means of payment, like a QR code, like a digital receipt, all the type of thing that you can access through a touchscreen on the terminals or on your mobile, all integrated. And that enables cities to offer to the end users the easiest way to pay for them. So that's the first big innovation. The second one is that cities are interested in parking, but they are also interested in managing all type of usage of the curb. And if you look at it, managing the curb or managing parking, it's quite the same tools that you need to use. So we are investing with our cities which are very close to us in order to demonstrate that you can make a much smarter usage of the curb through our tools. So for example, for delivery zones, loading and unloading bays, so we have ways of optimizing the access and checking that people are not overstaying on these bays. Today you have different ways of paying for parking or asking for the right to use a loading bay, as I said. So, but all of that has to be integrated to make it simple for the end users and to allow the cities to manage all this complexity. And that's what we call the hub. So what we've built and what we deploy with hundreds of cities is this hub which enable them to coordinate the curb management, but to coordinate also the different means of payments by which someone can pay for parking. So you can start paying on a meter, extend on a mobile, or the opposite, and all of that is integrated. You can offer free time, for example, to a driver, so he can access free time through meters or mobile or different mobile payment providers, but all of that is integrated and he will get only once the allowance of free time. So for the cities, the fact that with the hub they can simplify the management of the assets, they can simplify the management of the rules. So for example, you change the tariffs, you change them only once, then you push a button and all the different channels are updated. And as I said, if you want to allow 15 minutes or 30 minutes free time, you can do it very easily and enforce it in a meaningful way. If you want to have a pricing which is increased with time, you can also do it and enforce it in a simple way. It allows the enforcement officers to access a single database which is unique and up to date. All of these type of things which were not possible without that hub are now possible. So it makes the life of the city much simpler. In fact, when you look at this hub, you manage parking, but with the same type of approach, you can manage on-street parking, you can manage off-street parking, you can manage transit. Think a transit app or a parking app, it's an app. So what we've done at Flowbird is to integrate all of that with a single architecture, a single view that you can access through your mobile, you can access through different kiosks, so a parking meter, a ticket vending machine, and which enable us to connect different silos. So, for example, in Detroit, we connect on-street and off-street today. So if you're in Detroit, you want to park, you have a choice of on-street or off-street places. If you choose off-street, you click on it, you are routed, you can pre-book, pre-reserve and prepay, and when you arrive at the barrier opens automatically and it's done for you. So it's one example. We have a city of Monaco where we coordinate on-street parking, bike sharing and buses. So again, with the same app, you can access all of that, and the city will be able to, for example, set a cap to what you have to pay during a day. We are going to integrate the access to a football stadium, and then again, what we are going to do is to incentivize people to park quite far from the stadium, then to take a bus or a bike or an electric scooter, whatever, and then they get access to the stadium, and if they have done that, they can get free parking. So all these type of new ideas are being currently implemented in many cities across the world. And EV charging is something which is going to be mainstream in the coming years, so it's just emerging today, but we believe that it's going to be very important. And before charging, you need to be sure that you have the right to access the spot, then you need to park, then you charge, then you need to pay for parking and for charging, and then someone has to check that you don't overstay and that you don't freeze this asset, which is an EV charging station. And all of that, again, it's adding to EV charging parking, or in reality, it's adding EV charging to parking. And we propose at Flowbird an integrated app which enable you, if you have an EV car, to know where the EV charging stations are located, if they are available or not, and then get there, pay for parking, pay for charging, and enforcement is connected to the same hub to make sure that nobody is overstaying.